Al, do you believe in the heart of the cards?
I believe in the heart of the cards when you're playing the cards.
What about when you're playing the cards?
Absolutely not.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. I am no good at cards.
Al sees cards and she's like, "Get out of here."
Get out of here. I have like chain of memories trauma.
Well, that's because that's Kingdom Hearts. That's just gonna bring you trauma regardless.
I know, but I'm just saying I have chain of
Get
memories
out of
trauma.
here.
Get out of here. And then,
Ugh.
there's the whole like Al and poker stuff.
Oh, your favorite card game, of course.
Hmm.
Very true. Anyways, hello, welcome to this week's episode of Seasonally We Checkup OVA. It's a podcast where we have conversations about video games, anime, and manga. Hello, I'm Jared, joined as always by Doc, Al, and Ladium.
Hello.
This is episode 382, and it's time to talk about a card game.
Card game
Card game. They made another
from a
Yohane
franchise
game.
we love.
Yes.
They
This
did.
this time it is a deck builder, roguelike. Gotta believe in the heart of the cards. We are talking, of
I
course.
don't like deck builders and I don't like roguelikes that much either. So,
It's your two favorite things mixed together.
yay!
We are talking about Yohane the Parhelion NUMAZU in the Mirage. It is a video game.
It is a video game.
It is indeed a video
It
game.
is in the Love Live greater cinematic universe.
Yep, that's how you describe it.
I
uh,
mean,
that is definitely one way to describe
because
it
it
for
can't
sure.
technically say it's Love Live Sunshine, but
You know,
it's tied to Love Live Sunshine.
the Love Live multiverse.
But nobody has last names, and it's not. Yeah.
But yes, this game came out on February the 22nd. We did not get around to it for a little while because that was knee deep in the triple JRPG bonanza of the beginning of this year, so something had to take a backseat, and it
Yep.
was this.
It was this, but we had it. We had it on the back burner. We're like, this is. We're gonna come back to this eventually,
Yes. It is out on the PlayStations, the
and we
Nintendo
did.
Switch, and the PC.
Hmm.
That's how that works. And yeah, you play cards with Yohane and the gang. Use your cards
Hmm.
to fight things and do magic and beat up giant mekons and weird creatures and everything, and burgers that go bleh when you defeat them.
Bleh.
Bleh.
And lobsters with swords.
Those are
Bleh.
were those lobsters or were those like crabs? I forget. Or shrimps.
They were lobsters. Well, I thought they were shrimps, but they're lobsters. They're lobsters with swords.
You know, lobster swords.
Very, very normal lobster swords. And then like there's also the puddings that are actually mountains that are actually volcanoes.
Yes, of course. That's how all this works.
Hmm.
Um,
And all the girls are very smug.
yeah, that is very true as well.
Hee hee hee.
But yeah, this is being a roguelike and everything. You do runs essentially. That is how you play the game. You go through a board that will like have a bunch of different areas you can go to, and you can pick and choose where to go. Or if you want to fight just regular monsters, you can. You can fight little mini bosses. You can go find treasure. There are like event spaces. You can buy things from Hanamaru.
Hmm.
I think that's it. And then there's a boss at the end you got to fight, and then you move on to the next board and the next board, and then that's how you do a run. And if you die, you got to start your run all over again.
Mm-hmm.
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 But along the way, of course, you're collecting more cards to put in your deck. You get charms that give you specific buffs and everything that will make things easier for you. Of course, you get money to buy new cards and charms and all that. You can upgrade your cards if you want. So you are consistently getting more powerful, but also everything else is getting more powerful. So you gotta You gotta make sure you're doing the right upgrades or getting the right things to make your run that much smoother.
There's no reason for little Mekons to be as tough as they are.
That's the power of the Mekon.
You're right.
You gotta be
I don't know
wary
what I
of
was
that.
thinking. No, you're right. You're right. You're right. Also, they would be completely bonkers bananas humans if they don't sell any kind of version of the sleepy versions of these gals that
Yes.
you have in the badges because those are adorable. They're so cute.
When do we get Big Mom merch?
When do we get Big Mom merch?
Shouts out the Big Mom badge.
Big Mom
Very
badge
good,
is
very
our friend.
useful.
Very, very good, very useful. You had a good time with a Big Mom badge
It's
at
true.
one boss fight at least. Mhm.
Love that Big Mom badge. But yeah, this is like I said, you do card stuff, but also like there is a story attached to it, and there's a reason why you're doing all the card stuff. Um, Essentially, Yohane finds a mirror that eventually takes her to a reverse version of NUMAZU, the mirror NUMAZU. Um,
Mhm.
and in there, she's able to use these cards as magic, and she has to fight her enemies, and that's how she's able to do all the fighting and stuff. And basically, she's got to save her friends from getting their life essence sucked away from them by these weird versions of her friends, smug versions of her friends.
I forget the smug versions. They're night something. I don't remember what the second word of that is, but night something.
It essentially the whole thing is like based around this like fairy tale story that all of them had read when they were kids, and like that is
Hmm.
basically being shaped and formed and brought to life in the mirror world. And as you
Hmm.
continuously do runs and everything, and as you beat these runs, you unlock more story and find out exactly what's happening and all of that fun stuff. But it is fun to see all these
And your
weird,
friends
like,
along the way keep getting sick.
yes, all these like rude versions of your friends. Like Hanamaru hates bread.
Um,
She wants to use bread and like to beat people up and all that sort of stuff, which is very funny.
yeah, it's really good.
Ruby's going to give you a Rubeaten.
You're beaten. She's gonna beat you.
She's going to do
I,
her bestie to Rubeat you.
I I saw that image like before we actually played it. I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
It's
Like
pretty good.
this version of Ruby is me because I threatened to fight everybody and she
And you're
wants to
also very
beat everyone
small.
up. And also very small, yes. Oh man.
That's how that
She's
works.
so smug. Yo is just in Sharon, but she's a
Yeah, yeah,
pirate.
she's just a pirate. Chica's got her
Um,
cool dinosaur
Chica's is the
outfit.
best. I
Ow.
love her dinosaur outfit.
There's a card that you
Ow.
can play in the game that when you play it, it makes that it makes her make that noise, and it's very good.
Oh my God,
Ow.
really?
Yes.
What does it do?
It's just a damage card.
Oh, okay. That outfit is the best.
It's very good.
It's very good. I didn't know until this game that I needed Chica as a dinosaur until I got Chica as a dinosaur. And I was like, oh, well, that filled a hole in my life that I didn't know I had. Thank you,
Mm-hmm.
game.
Kanan wants to bring destruction with all her machines,
Mm-hmm.
as you do. She's got her evil version of
As you
her
do.
robot frog.
Ah!
Who else we got here? We got
Daya.
Daya, who wants to just take over Numazu and make it worldwide. Worldwide Numazu.
Is she Pitbull?
Yes, she is Ms. Worldwide.
Ms. Worldwide.
Dale.
Um, Mari. Anya had a good time doing the laughs for Mari. You can tell.
Good old Ojo Sama laughs all the
Yep,
time.
all the time. And they're so loud.
It's very good.
She you could tell she had a good time with that, but like Mari Smug is she's smug.
Smug. Very good.
It's very
Rico
good.
just wants to use animals for nefarious means.
Terrible.
It's terrible. How rude.
How rude.
But yeah, you run into all these folks and you fight them, and you gotta. That's how you save your friends and from being all icky and everything. And
They're
the
all
whole
sick.
and the whole time, Lilaps is just like, bruh,
Bruh.
you okay? You gonna be
I'm
okay
so
with this?
I'm so surprised we didn't have to fight Lilaps.
You can't fight it. Lilaps is too pure to get taken over. Could you
Well, that's what I was
imagine
thinking
Night
is they
Wicked
probably just didn't want you to
Lilaps?
have to beat up a dog. I would be terrified.
Heh heh heh, woof woof woof.
But also no, I can't imagine that.
I'm a dog. Uh, you can also summon your friends to help you in your fights, which is very nice, and they give you some buffs and boosts and all sorts of stuff. And then if you summon specific people together, they'll also give you like a special boof buff as
A
well.
unit boost.
Yes, which is very nice.
Boof.
I get a boof.
You get a boof.
Love to get a
I
boof.
think I think because I said unit and you were trying to say buff,
No, I was
it
trying to say
became
buff
boof.
and boost at the same time. Boof.
Oh, buff and boost. Boof.
Boof.
That's good.
But yeah, those are
I
very
mean, technically you do get a buff and a boost.
you do, yes, you're not wrong.
So a boof works.
Yeah, they are very helpful when they can help you get out of some very sketchy situations per
hmm
se.
Yeah, there was that one that like you were poisoned or whatever, and one of them cleansed you. I was like, oh hell yeah, that's great.
Mhm.
Love to see
It's
that.
very nice. Um you got two different decks you can play with. One's like a very balanced deck, which is the starter deck. It has kind of like your very typical type stuff where it's just attacks and shields, and then the the other cards you can get aren't necessarily as like ginormous in terms of damage dealing and all that sort of stuff. It's just like pretty normal stuff. The powerful deck is way more wild in terms of just like you are just going to just melt things essentially.
Wow.
Do big damage, do all that sort of stuff. Big shields, big damage. But there's also cards where like you'll do damage to yourself to do big damage or to get more
Oh.
energy and do a lot of other stuff, which is an interesting way to change up the formula essentially. Um,
hmm
but you can do that by just like shielding yourself and then taking damage, and then it just chips shield damage, which is nice.
Nice. Yeah, you had a giant shield at one point, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah. I was doing a run today where like I had the way I had it set up is that like my first turn I would get like seven specific cards immediately on the first turn. Um,
hmm
two of them basically guarantee me to like get a Lilaps card every turn afterwards, which is like it's a attack card, but like it's a zero cost attack card, but you have to play it in that turn essentially, or else it just like goes away.
hmm
One of them is a
Oh,
Mekon, which is a zero cost shield that you can use,
icon.
which is very nice.
Nice.
One of them was a zero cost Kanon attack card, which is like a 10 damage attack for nothing, but you have to use it on the
Nice.
first turn. And then I had like three very specific like shield zero cost shield cards that I could use as well that were like at least like 10 shieldy a pop, which was very nice. So I could have like 30 shield immediately on the first turn.
That's
It
incredible.
was very helpful and convenient. The only time it wasn't convenient is like on when you have to fight the final boss, where it does like poison damage to you immediately, and like every time you play a card, you take 2 damage. So I was like,
Right.
oh god, I have all these cards, everything's been going fine, but oh no, I'm taking all this damage now.
Ooh.
I mean, it ended up fine, but it was just that's the one part. That's the one instance of the strategy not working out. But yeah, there's like cards in that where it's like if you play those specific cards, like the ones that you get each turn, you can like lower the cost of other cards that are like big damage attacks, essentially. So there's like
hmm
one card that's a Yo card that like initially it's like a 4 cost, but it does like 22 damage. But if you play
Nice.
those specific cards that you get at the beginning of your turn, every time like the you play one of those, the cost goes down. So by the time you can like, if you have a lot of those, you can just make that a 0 cost card. It's like, here's a free 22 damage, bam. It's very nice,
That's
very
so
convenient.
nice.
Yes. And then also like the card art, I feel like in the other deck, the power deck, basically gets all over the place in terms of like making it way more wild. Where you get Tree Hanamaru, you get that fun Riko and Shiitake card. I like the Three Mermaids card. That's fun.
That's really funny.
Let me see. What else did I send you yesterday? Because I sent you a lot of fun cards.
You sent me several good cards.
I did send you several good cards. There's Ichiban. There's Ichiban.
Ichiban.
There's Pirate Yohane. There's Riko putting Yohane in a crossface chicken wing, of course. Which there's a Yohane version of that where she's putting that on Daya, which is very funny.
Oh my god.
There's Chika doing a miracle wave flip. Riko's petting Lilaps, and Yohane is not happy about it. Cotton Candy Rube.
I was happy about that.
There's a card that says "Do your Rubesti," which I didn't.
Tree.
I didn't send you that one, but that is one. There's a card that is called Piggy.
Piggy.
And then there's another card that's called Squeal.
Nice.
2 different cards there.
Nice.
It's pretty good. But yeah, the card art also is very fun and goofy in this game. Because you get some just fun, dumb things like that in it throughout like both decks, and that's a very fun thing.
I do very much like the Be the Tree one.
Yes. Tree. Yeah, I'm very upset I didn't use the power deck in the last 2 runs I had to do with you, because that would have made things so much easier. Because that deck is just,
I bet,
destroy stuff. Man, it would have been so much simpler. But we did it with the normal deck and made it a little bit more difficult.
Did it the hard way.
Yeah, than the other way around. I think the story of this is perfectly fine. I think it captures the tone of the series more so than the Metroidvania did. I think it also helps that like there's technically more story in this than there is in that, which is going to benefit it more. But also, it just feels like they are able to capture the essence of these characters more, and kind of like showcase them in their funky ways in this more so than they were able to in that.
And their dynamics.
Yeah, you get a lot of fun, just goofy interactions with all the characters and within the story itself, and then also like if they show up in an event space or something, or like when you're summoning them, or it's one of those kinds of things. So like there's also like little bits and pieces scattered throughout when you're just like doing runs. So that's very fun. It's just fun to see these characters doing their thing and all that sort of stuff. And of course, like the fact that this is, a roguelike makes it way more accessible to replayability than the other one. So like, you can just keep going and doing runs and everything, because like, you're going to get a different run each time, and the gameplay is going to be a smidge different every time you play it. And every time you're playing, you were trying to get requests done, which will give you not skill points, just points in general, which you can then turn into like, I want more HP for the specific deck, or I want to get these new cards that are in this rewards points, or get these new charms that are here, or if you want to get the specific costumes you can unlock, that's where you would get those as well. And those costumes have different cards and a charm that you start with, essentially. So like, the starter deck has like a specific card and charm you start with, and then every other costume you get will have a different card in that slot, which will do different things. Like the pirate one, essentially you start with a card that you discard a card and it does damage, but you also have a charm that anytime you discard a card you gain 2 shield, which is very nice.
Oh, that is nice.
The other costume I have, you start with a Hanamaru card that I think gives you shield, but also I think if like the enemy's attacking, it gives it an attack down debuff, and then anytime you go to a shop, you gain 10 HP. And then the costume I just unlocked, which was like the little devil costume. That one
Mm-hmm.
gives you a card that essentially you play it, and then you're able to get an attack card, like any attack card from within the deck, and it costs 0, and you can play it immediately, which is very nice.
Oh,
Um,
that is very nice.
I forget what the charm for that one is. But either way, you essentially there's an incentive to get all the outfits because they're gonna do different things for you, which is pretty
Mm-hmm.
nice. It's not just like, oh, here's a fun cosmetic. It's hey, we're going to make this a
Actually
little
give it a
bit,
gameplay
yeah, make
mechanic.
this a little bit more meaningful and all that sort of stuff, which is very nice.
That's fun. Also encourages you to like change outfits.
Yeah, exactly. Gives you a different kind of strategy going in essentially. Um,
I like that.
some of the challenges are difficult to say the least. They give you a little bit of a challenge. There's a lot of them that are just like, hey, summon this character X amount of times, or do a run and gain and acquire cards that have a specific character in them X amount of times, like that sort of thing, or like beat X
Mm.
amount of enemies, those sort of things. But then there's also like, hey, get through this specific block of the run in 20 minutes or less, or get through a run without using a rest stop, or do it without getting rare cards and all that sort of stuff. So like, if you want the challenges, like that's, or if you just want a challenge in general, like that's the way to do it. Because some of those seem very annoying, to say the least.
I can't imagine doing it without the rare cards.
Yeah, I mean it's probably doable. You
Oof.
just get like a bunch of just like regular attack cards and all that sort of stuff. It just would not be as easy.
Right.
And then some of those you have to like do on the regular difficulty. There's also like an easy and a very easy, which they give you a bonus charm to start off with, and then they'll give you kind of like specific buffs as well. Be like, oh, you get like, if you're playing, I think on very easy, you'll get like a +2 attack and defense power. You get more energy. You get more cards to start off with to draw from, and it's like it just makes things way more advantageous for the player than if they're just playing on normal difficulty per se.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, of course we didn't do that because we're we're pro card players. We believe in the heart of the cards. Definitely didn't save
I
scum our
didn't play
way.
anything. I was just there for moral support.
Definitely didn't save scum our way through some of those boss fights or
No,
anything. No siree.
no, no.
Never
I
would do
mean,
that.
the system just kept crashing, you know? Just kept crashing. What can
That's
you
real
do?
wild. I can't believe we would do that.
Except for that one time where we mistimed it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, we don't talk about that though.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
we definitely, we did fine.
this game is fun. I really enjoyed it.
Um, but yeah,
Are you gonna say something?
yeah, I was gonna say we kind of persona'd it that we had to face ourselves.
You're not wrong. Yes, that is very true. You got to face yourself
Yeah,
to win, and
and
then
then we had to fight a god, which is the mirror.
yes,
It's persona.
you're not wrong. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm still kind of pleasantly surprised that like I enjoyed this game more than the Metroidvania, which it feels like that shouldn't be the case given like the pedigree of Blazing the Deep Blue and all that sort of stuff. But like
hmm.
this game's just more fun, honestly. And it's just like I think it helps that like there's more replayability and like there's more charm in this game than the other one. Uh, it is also a $30 video game like the other one is. But
Hmm.
I think
This one has more replayability, so it's a little less like
yeah,
egregious, I guess.
I would say so.
Yeah.
It's not like you're buying this and you're gonna play it for 4 hours or 4 to 6 hours and then be like, I'm done, yay.
Yeah, because like that's basically how it worked with the other one is we played it, we're done. There's no real replayability for
Hmm.
it. But like you've been replaying this one, you've been doing runs just for
Yeah,
funsies.
and I've been having a good time.
I am glad.
I was glad. There is also DLC for this game.
What?
Yes,
I didn't know that.
you did know this. We've talked about this before.
Okay, well maybe I forgot.
Alfregard. There's a bunch of costume DLC out right now. The cost of it is not great, I would say.
Blech.
But each of those costumes has the same characteristics as a costume from the main game itself, or like, it has its own starter card and starter charm. So like those are, going to have different
Helpful.
different things on it than, the costumes you get in the actual game itself. Let me see if I can look this up real quick as I boot my PlayStation up to load it. So there's costumes. There's also like there's a song DLC pack where it's like, here's some songs from the anime if you want to have those play when you're playing the game, but it's like $16 for that. And I was like, no, no, thank you, I'm good.
Ooh.
I think
Oh,
I don't really
Blazing the
need
Deep Blue is
that.
on sale.
What is it on sale for? Like 20? It's
20,
$28.
23.
Oh, that's still too much money.
Yeah.
Too much money.
Too much money.
These costumes are
Huh.
$9, by the way. I was wrong.
Yeah.
You have trendy
It's a lot of
schoolgirl.
money.
It's just Yohane in like a school girl outfit. She's trendy. You have her in the
She's
Far Far
trendy.
Away outfit from the anime when she performed that song. You can have
Hmm.
her dress up as a duck.
I like the fledgling one. That's my
It's
favorite.
pretty good. Forever You and I is another, outfit from the anime. And then Lucky outfit.
Mm-hmm.
You can make her feel lucky. And then songs are
Yay.
$17. Just too much money.
That's so much money.
Yes.
Wait, includes a total of 4
Yeah, it's 4
songs?
songs. It's the opening and ending, Forever You and I, and then Deep Blue from Blaze in the Deep Blue
That's
from
offensive.
the other game. On April the 25th, we will get the first additional characters pack, where you will be able to
Ooh.
play as Daya, Hanamaru, and Kanan. This will
Oh.
have additional stories and events. You'll get 3 new charms, and you'll get Yohane as a summon card.
Ooh.
That price is to be determined. I'm guessing it's not going to be cheap, which is going to be unfortunate.
You mean Love Live having expensive DLC? That never
Yeah.
happens.
In May, there's going to be the Night Wicked Night outfit for everyone, so you can get the little devil costume for all characters, so you can have your summons dress up like that, and then there'll be a new costume for Yohane and a new charm.
Oh my god.
And then in June, you'll get Delta Replica, which will be a new costume for Yohane, which I'm pretty sure that's just a replica
Daya.
of the Daya Sentai outfit from the anime, which is very good.
That is
And
very good.
hopefully if these I guess sell well, they'll do more character packs, so you'll be able to play as the other characters as well, which would be nice.
Hmm.
That would be fun. Let me play as all the gals and Lilaps.
I want you to be able to play as all the gals and Lilaps, honestly.
I want to play
I
cards
would
as a
I would
dog.
watch that. I want you to play card. Let Lilaps hold the cards in her mouth.
Yes, I agree.
Yes, it's perfect.
Ugh.
Nom 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 nom. I have cards.
But yeah, that's Yohane.
Yeah, it was fun watching you play it, and I if we were ever just chilling, I would watch you play it again.
Yeah, it's a very chill game.
It is very chill, and it's fun to watch, especially like I like seeing how you strategize when you're playing it, because you're a lot more about it than I would ever choose to be. But it
You
works
gotta
out for
believe in the
you.
heart of the cards.
Man, card games though, we don't get along, me and cards.
Believe in the heart of the cards. But yeah, that's Yohane the Parhelion NUMAZU in the Mirage.
It was fun.
Believe in the heart of the cards for sure. And that's going to do it for us this week. So if you'd like more from us, head on over to seasonalanimecheckup.com or sac.cool, where you can find past episodes of this podcast and other podcasts like Jared Now Watch. You'll also find columns and reviews on the site as well. If you'd like more from Ann Ladium, go to annladium.com. She's got columns and reviews. You can follow us on Twitter and TikTok at Anime Checkup. You can follow us on Blue Sky's seasonalanimecheckup.com. You can buy our books, One Shiny Moment, Critical Analysis of Love, Life, Sunshine, Hot Tubs, and Pac-Man on Amazon.com. And supports on Patreon, patreon.com/SACOVA. Buy us a slice of pizza, get access to unedited versions of the podcast, monthly exclusive Patreon podcasts, and a whole wealth of bonus content as well. Next week we'll talk about not cards, presumably.
Not cards, but you rubeat this game.
I did rubeat. I gave it a rubeating.
You did.